Hi, welcome to Core Java 8 Stream API tutorial. So in this Stream API, we are going to learn with how do we make use of the streams to process the data coming out of the underlying data. It can be collection, it can be array, it can be underlying RDBMS resource. So the Stream API is a collection of methods, and we have it is mainly used to process with the collections, and it also provide with multiple aggregate operations, and there are set on intermediary operations and terminal operations. So why this Stream API is needed? So when we are processing the collection API, we will be doing with lots many predefined operations on the collection data. So Stream is built on the top of collection to perform with the various types of query processing. There are predefined functions available on top of Stream API to perform parallel operations and sequential operations using aggregate functions and as well as a set of utility functions. For example, if you wanted to find the most senior employee, or you wanted to find the count of employees who is working for so and so year or so and so department or so and so technology, so that kind of operations can be done easily with the streaming API. So it allows the developers to process the data in the declarative fashion. It is mainly to process your collection types, and it allows sequential and as well as parallel operations. So how do we create a Stream API? Let us look into example. So let's create with one class which is stream application. How do we define a stream into Java? So this is only available from Java 8 onwards. So whenever you create a stream, so you can process it by using stream dot of method, and then you can provide a list of streamed values. So this is creating a direct stream. And now if you wanted to process the list of items coming out of a stream, you can make use of your stream object dot. For each you can use to display the elements coming out of your stream. So this is the simplest way where we can make use of our streaming API. And another type of stream declaration is we can go with a list of type integers, where we can define a list of elements, or else you can declare, instead of declaring and having a list of elements, just we will take arrays dot as list, and we can provide a list of elements. This is also I am taking a list of integers, and I would like to process through stream. So let me import list and as well as arrays. Now the thing is, you need to process the stream method on top of your collection. So list dot, first you need to apply the stream, and then you need to apply for, let's say you wanted to just display the elements. So then we have a for each operation which is called as a terminal operation to display with the data. So either you can use, this is called method reference operator to display the elements, and there is another way you can use here called as lambda expression. So what is lambda expression? We are going to look into in the next session. So this is a syntax you can make use of, and then you can directly print with the list of elements. So this is how you can create with a stream, and where you can display the elements of the second list of integers by using stream. This is how the stream is always can be operated on top of your collection to process your data. So it can apply with a sequential operation and as well as parallel operations. So here characteristics of Stream API, if you can look into, it's not a data structure, it is not going to store the data in it, and it is designed to perform with your expression, designed for implementing with lambda expression, and it supports indexed access, and as well as it supports the underlying lists, collections, and as well as arrays. And always Stream API is working on the principle called lazy loading, and it can be parallelizable by using parallel streams, and it can be unbounded. So how do we make use of the streaming API with hands-on examples we will be looking into. And coming to all the streaming operations are like classified into two types majorly, intermediate operations and terminal operations. There are certain operations which will close your stream API after performing operations like iterating the values by using for each method, okay, and collecting the resultant of your stream API operation into another collection by using collect method. Such operations comes under terminal operations. And there are certain streaming operations that will connect to the another operations in the stream, that comes under intermediary operations. And coming to like how do we make use of the stream declaration, and as well as how do we make a collection into a stream, we have seen with the example. And it can be parallelized by using parallel stream method. And coming to the various stream operations that we can perform with, we have filter methods, we have a map method, reduce method, and we can search for, and also we can perform with the sort operations. That we will be looking into few methods we will be looking into with the hands-on example. Here is the classification of terminal operations and intermediary operations. So for example, concat, collect, okay, concat, filter, limit, and map comes under intermediary operations. They are always connected to the next method in the stream. Coming to count, max, collect, for each, min, and reduce, so they are going to be a terminal operations for a stream. We will be looking into few of the examples with the streaming operations. Now, in continuation with the previous example, let me declare with a list of string type. I am taking a name list equal to as list of, just I am taking a few names. I have taken a list of strings, and then I would like to process the strings for which the length I would like to check with for all the strings. So I can map it by using map method. Map dot for each. So finally we can display with a for each of system dot out reference operator. We will print the elements. Here is the length is a function, okay, you just make use of that, and then now you can print the length of each string what we provided here. So 9 to 14. Let's say if you are not going to use with a length, then simply here itself you can say system.out.println of name. So that is how you can make use of map function. So map is one of a intermediary operation. Intermediate operations, right? So we will look into few of the intermediate operations and as well as few of the terminal operations. And next is we would like to go to integer list, and we will process with list 1. I am taking a different integers here, and then we will process here to display the elements, okay, which are by using a map function, which are greater than 10. Only greater than 10 elements you wanted to print with. So this is how you are going to map with a list where x is greater than 10, and then you can make use of for each, and then you can just display with the elements. The action for your for each is system.out.println. That's all. So this is a mapping operation we are going to perform with to find the greater than 10 numbers. And similarly, there is another intermediate operation you wanted to do with is called distinct. We can also practice with limit. So here list2 dot stream dot, you can make use of distinct, so that we will have certain duplicate values here, 7, 3, 89. We will repeat the elements. Now let us process with the distinct operation whether it is going to display the distinct values or not. So you can see here it is going to display the values only distinct data, right? So this is the one of the distinct operation, which is also an intermediary operation. And next is we wanted to process with a limit operation, right? We are going with another list called 3, where I have totally 6 elements, out of which I would like to display map of, I wanted to display not the map, only 3 elements. Then we can give limit of 3 dot, you can say, for each, and then system dot out, and then println. So this is another intermediary operation called as limit operation. This is how we can process with the various types of intermediary operations. So here we are doing with the distinct, and here is a limit. These are all the things you can practice with. Next is one terminal operation we will practice with is called as reduce. What exactly we perform with this reduce operation? It's a terminal operation where we can find out, let's say, sum of the numbers. So in that case, you just take list4 dot stream dot, here you are going to perform with reduce. So reduce method of, you are going to pass every time 2 numbers, and then you will be performing with a plus b. So this is going to calculate your sum of the numbers in the list, and always it will have a return type. So in Java 8 we are going to have a new class we will be discussing with, called optional class. This is an optional class, will give you a result, and which is mainly used to process your null pointer exceptions properly. So it will make that the application will not lead to the null pointer exceptions by using optional class. So we are going to get by using this terminal operation called reduce. This comes under terminal operation, which is going to perform with sum of the numbers, and that sum of numbers is getting stored here, and we can efficiently process this data so that it will not become a null. If it is null, how to handle with such methods are possible with the optional class in Java 8. So now we will be getting the sum value by using sum.get method. So get is a method of our optional class. So let's say it is going to give you the sum of the numbers. So this is how you can process with the terminal operations, intermediary operations, and then you can handle your null values efficiently with the optional. Why? Because if we take here as a simple integer type, it may return a null value. Again, it leads to null pointer exception. That can be handled properly by using your optional class. This kind of operations can be done with a streaming API called intermediary operations and terminal operations. There are some demo applications are provided you can practicing with. So as we are practicing with many of the examples, mapping with finding the length of a given string, mapping with whether the number is greater than 10. So such operations can be done with this map method of stream. And here we can see like how do we print the length of a given string in a list of values, and similarly how do we perform filter operations, distinct operations, keep and then limit. This is all comes under your intermediary operations. And there are certain filtering examples. Let us say you wanted to filter based on the number is greater than 10. You can make use of filter. So that it is going to return a list of values. It is going to filter the numbers accordingly. Distinct. You are going to filter the set of values by provided with only unique set of values. Similarly, limit. You can limit a set of size, whether 3 or of 5, whatever, out of given number of list, how much is the list you wanted to limit. So that can be done with the limit. And further, reduce operation, as we are looking into our reduce example. So reduce always perform some aggregate operations on the list of values, whether finding sum of numbers. Okay, such features can be done with a reduce. Reduce is a terminal operation. Finally, it is going to return a value. It is not going to connect with the other method of your stream API, like intermediary operation. It always finally conclude your list processing and then your stream processing and return a value. That is the purpose of reduce. Here we are doing with one example called finding sum of numbers. So finally it is going to give one single result. Whereas in all the previous examples, it is going to process your stream and it will give you a list of values. That is the difference between your reduce operation and mapping operations. So this is what is the sum of numbers you are going to process with. And there are some demo examples are provided, you can practice with.